Osbournes Podcast, WATP.
John has gotten so stupid that I think maybe, hear me out.
Okay.
He is maybe doing this on purpose. And I think maybe what he's doing, if I were John, this is what I would do, and maybe that's why I'm thinking this, is he's now going to become the dumbest guy ever. And as these shows all pull these clips and goof on him for being dumb, he's eventually going to go, I got you guys. I was playing a long game troll the whole time. You guys all fell for it, suckers. I'm not really, you really think I'm that stupid? I'm not that stupid, blah, blah, blah. And so it's going to turn into this thing where we got to be like, oh, boys, our face red. John was playing us all along. Now, he might say that. It's not the case.
Right.
But I think he is starting to like act like he's dumber than he really is. And I have some examples of that because there's no way he's this stupid. I say, and then, I'll see what people think about it. But I was watching this last night, right before we went out to get some dinner. I happened to be popping onto YouTube and I saw John was streaming, and I went, "What the fuck did he just say? I gotta screen capture this. This is insane."
This guy's an asshole. Let's be serious.
Phantom Dennis, yeah.
I want to bury the hatch. Responsible for every horrible thing you said about me, and let's be friends.
No.
Yeah. You were just on in the chat on Reddit saying, oh, don't worry, it's Canadian money. It's pretty much pennies. So fuck off until you pay me at least 100 in fucking Canadian.
Take more than that, because you were using a circle jerk with Dab Astoria. They jerk each other off.
Yeah. At least 100 Canadian. You fucking were too stupid to let me know that these super chats you're doing is what your own words is worth pennies. You see, Denny, the thing about me, I read something once and it goes right into here. I am a fucking human computer. and I know you said these are only pennies in Canadian. I guarantee that's what you wrote. Aren't you freaked out a bit that I can remember shit that well? Well, I can.
All right, what he actually wrote was, I pay him in Canadian money. It's practically worthless anyways. It was a joke. He never mentioned pennies.
No.
And also, there's no way John's that stupid to say, oh, you even said $5 Canadian is just worth pennies. It's 75 cents to the dollar. It's worth $3.70. It's more than most people pay you. Most people give him $2. And it was the same thing when he was complaining about euros. And I had explained to him, I go, John, euros are actually worth more than $1. How am I supposed to know that? I don't know. How do I know that? I don't know. Jesus
You're
Christ.
a human computer.
Yeah, I know. You're a fucking human computer. You remember everything. This is what I mean. When he starts going into that shtick and talking about how smart he is and stuff, I'm just like, well, he can't be that dumb, right?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to say he is.
I think everyone's going to agree with you on that. But hear me out. I'm just throwing it out there right now because this is an insane thing to say, that he wouldn't just look up the exchange rate and just say, oh, you got to give me 100 of these things because I know they're not worth anything. And then brag about how smart you are. Right after that.
We've seen him try to look things up and hear him go boom, 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 boom. He's not subtle. He's not smart. He's not likable. I mean,
all right. That's not what I'm talking about right now.
He stinks.
Yeah. So this is another example of John being dumb. He's freaking out on someone who's just trying to be nice to him and actually give him good advice.
Yep.
He hates good advice, man. This guy fucking can't stand it.
First of all, hot body. If you just take the high road and actually say something witty or self-deprecating when trolled, do you get how many actual fans you have instead? Oh, fuck off. Everyone is always trying to tell me what to do.
Yeah, because you're doing it wrong. Yeah. The people who are trying to give you earnest advice are being so kind to you. You don't even deserve it. And then you tell them to fuck off immediately.
And they're giving you money while they're giving you advice.
Here's $5. Hey, man, why don't you take some things in stride and be playful a little bit from time to time? People might like you more. Yeah. Go fuck yourself. Okay.
All right. So he doesn't know what irony means.
No. He doesn't know what hypocrite means. It means everything.
He's getting there.
Hypocrite means everything.
Yeah.
I'm the success here, not you. Have you ever noticed that? I'm the guy. I'm the one they're all talking about.
This would be like the kid who's getting spitballs shot into his hair all class long. Just like, everyone's paying attention to me over here. It's amazing. Yeah. I must be the fucking most popular kid in school. Who else has this many spitballs in their hair? No one.
stolen the joke before, but as soon as I get out of this headlock, I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, how many kick me signs do you have on your back?
Yeah, right. Obviously, I'm popular.
Got you beat again.
Who gives a fuck what you think? I don't. Think I give a crap?
Looks like it. Sounds like it.
Suddenly I'm going to take advice from you? Fucking hell. Dumb fuck. Chill his cap teeth. Please.
Is he really this stupid?
I think so, but he does recover quickly in order to read the next super chat.
That's true. So
there is some acting going on. I'll give you that.
Yeah, there's something going on. Okay. So this past Wednesday night, he showed up on Lil Mir's show. So Lil Mir does a show with Dr. Chow, and I know of those two because they like to donate to Misery Loves Company. They're big fans of MLC. Dr. Chow also goes by Mega G if you're watching the video on here. And they have Joey C on this show, and Addicted to Profits is on this show. A guy I've talked to. I think I'm doing his football show next week or the week after. So they got all these guys on here, and they paid John, I think, $500, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know everything that's going on. But they paid John to be on the show, and so I just have a couple of choice moments from John being on.
A lot of little peep shows.
Casey's like,
we pulled
John,
up.
why would you take money from... I'm like, shut the fuck up. He's probably got more money than I do.
I thought you were rich. Well, you're a genius, right?
Both.
Both. Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, dude, you're disabled, but you're on with me and Mir. Usually host this show, and you're on with two disabled dudes. We're both retards, bro.
So...
Oh, he was probably just about to scold them for using the R word.
Probably, yeah. So
Woke John is
I
hilarious.
do like that. Like right out the bat, John's going, Casey Armstrong said I shouldn't be taking money from you guys, but you guys got it, right? Why wouldn't I take money from you guys? Because it's embarrassing, John, but whatever. Yeah. And so then they go on to talk about his disability. Because I like that John's leading into this he's disabled thing now because he has a stutter. That's
one thing he's taking in stride.
Yeah, that's right. His disability. Okay, so now they're talking about, I just have a few clips of this. I mean, it went on for hours. They actually, at one point, they had to give John an extra $100 for him to stay on the show. And then what'll happen is over time, I don't know if he feels bad or he's just getting drunk and having fun. John just hangs out longer. They're like, all right, well, we know you got to go. And then 40 more minutes goes by. It's like, they're giving it out there, but okay. So they're talking about how DG, John's former co-host and friend, who they had a falling out, then they made up, and then they had another falling out. He went on Vince the Lawyer's show. And boy, does that piss John off because Vince the Lawyer is one of these guys that John now hates. And put that on the long list of people that John now hates. So they're talking about that here.
So he goes on there, and then I text him. I go, Dave, what are you doing? Why are you on Vince's show? Well, he was fucking calling me a pussy, so that I wouldn't do his show, so I had to do it. I'm like, so he calls you a pussy? This is like child psychology 101. Oh, he's a pussy. He won't do it. Duh. Well, they're trying to code you, and they're baiting you.
How does John not know? He just did this.
The guy who was alleged, he didn't actually call the Rochester PD, but his reason for that was they said something about my kids.
Right. But crazier than that, Chris, is the fact that John was not going to do the show on my channel.
Right.
Because Kevin Brennan told him not to. So he got in his car, started driving to the pub. Yeah. I texted John, don't be a pussy. And that's why he came back and went on the show. He's like, I'm not a pussy. Yeah. And now he's talking about how
he's dishing out advice.
Is he falling for that? Who's falling for that?
They're trying to goad you, dude. Every time you react, it's someone goading you.
Well, right. And that's what, yeah. John, really, it's funny when he says these things. It's like, okay, so you understand
the concept. Yeah,
you understand the concept. You understand how life works. But then you don't realize that this is all happening to you all the time. He never picks up on that. I just thought that was so funny. Calling him he's like, how could you fall for that? Someone calling you a pussy. Yeah. Literally why we did that show together. All right. So now John's getting drunk. And he's been saying lately that him and Casey Armstrong are best of buddies.
Oh.
Which is weird because he hated Casey, and then they did the shows together, and now he likes Casey. And I don't even know what day. Maybe they don't like each other right now. It depends on what day it is. I don't know. I can't keep up. So as he's getting drunk, he gets ready to turn on KC. Like they're able to just talk him into it. He's so stupid.
So, John, I'm gonna get before we lose you, John, because we got about
20 minutes. We said two.
I know, motherfucker. I know. I would pay you another $100, but you don't want another $100 in your pocket.
No, it's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much money because you feel bad about Casey when he approached you with it.
I don't give a fuck about Casey.
Yes, you do. Don't. That's your friend. You do give a fuck about him.
You said he just said what about me?
What?
You were saying Casey said that you should watch out for me.
I should, yes.
Why?
Because you would take advantage of people.
Oh, interesting. I'm gonna have to bring that up to Casey.
Don't do that.
So does that mean that you're not being honest?
All right. Do you hear what's going on right now? Let me try to make sense of this.
It's some young punk messing with a homeless guy outside of a bar.
Let me make some kind of sense of this. Will Muir and KC are communicating behind the scenes, and KC said something about like, hey, I think John's taking advantage of you, charging these guys to be on the show or whatever. And John's just like, oh, he said that? Well, then I guess we're not friends. I guess I'll be bringing that up to KC. Next time I see something, it's like, dude, you don't have to do that. Yeah. It's fine. And he's like, oh, so then you're lying. He didn't actually say that. It's like, holy shit, John.
There's no talking to this guy.
Could you imagine if John actually didn't care what people thought and said? He would be a completely different person. He likes to say he doesn't care. That's all he does is care about that.
We wouldn't know him.
We wouldn't ever talk about him if he didn't care about what people thought about him.
Yes. He's the ultimate reactor, and we love it.
I'd love to. That would be a funny skit. If John and I mean, we could pull this off next time we're in Florida together. We sat down on the computer and I go, okay, John, I'm going to teach you how to deal with the internet. And I get on and I pull up a subreddit and someone's like, Carl's show fucking sucks. It's all downhill since Vic left. He's like, you got to tell that asshole to... Watch this, John. I just scroll past it. Leave that page. He's like, but you didn't even tell that cocksucker he fucking blows.
How did you do that?
That would be amazing. And I got to go through that for like 4 hours.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
All right, John, now what do you think I should do with this one? Tell that motherfucker to fight.
Yeah, that's like anger management.
He's incredible. Now this, you want to talk about irony. This is incredible. Now, John recently did, it's been very well documented by Uncle Rico. We've documented it as well. John got very drunk on his show the other night, just got hammered and just slurred his way through a show with DG and Joey C, where Joey C seemed to be the adult in the room.
Yeah, the voice of reason.
Joey C, who was playing with puppets until the wee morning hours last night. I was watching it on El Horrible's show today. They're watching Joey C. He's just like talking to puppets. He's got like a shark that's singing. I feel semi-responsible for all of this.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is your life now.
Well, anyway, this is hilarious. This lecture coming in here.
Paid me.
Go ahead.
Mayor, I'm going to tell you
What's up, man? You can't do a chug?
Mayor, could you listen?
Okay, sir. Yeah.
When you watch this back,
Yes, sir.
you're going to hear yourself go from loving me to hating me to loving me to hating me on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
And I've just laughed it off because I'm just like, you're all stoned and fucked up, which is fine. But I'm just telling you, when you watch this back, you're going to go, oh, I can't believe I fucking said that to John. I can't believe I fucking did that. But it's okay. I forgive.
Go ahead.
John forgives him. Can you imagine? John's explaining you might have regrets for being drunk on the internet. John would know, for sure. Does he learn from these things? Obviously not.
But John himself isn't going to remember any of this.
How funny is that? He's like, listen, I just want you to know, Wilmer, you're very stoned. You're very drunk. You're going to regret this.
I've been there.
You're going to regret this. You're really Zoom-mocking this episode. I just want you to know that. Yeah. So here's a fun little thing. As I mentioned, these guys are all Misery Loves Company fans with Kevin Brennan. And so that gets brought up here. And, of course, John feels that he should get Bob Levy's position as second mic on MLC. Bob Levy left about a month ago, or maybe a little longer than that. And so now John feels like there's an open position, and he's put his hat in the ring.
I know how to ride a fence.
He's put his hat in the ring multiple times.
Did you ever watch Wonton Don on Barstool? I did a big series with him. So,
by the way, Kevin Brennan made a big mistake. I mean, Kevin should have me as his co-host. I'm the only one that's interesting, but
dude, that job don't last too long. I know. So.
But John, I want to get away from the Kevin Brennan, the Shuley Network shit from you.
Okay. So it was funny because Addicted to Profits up there was explaining, because John goes, "You look familiar. How do I know you?" So he's trying to explain to him how he might know him. Like, well, I was on Barstool. I was doing this thing. John's not even listening. He just goes, Kevin really should have me as a co-host because I'm the only interesting one that's on there. So fast forward to the next day when Kevin Brennan is talking about this very show.
Oh, good.
That John was just on. And it's just too funny.
Hey. Going after all the berries.
Johnny Carson, I just watched John on Little Mirror. It's just not the same when John yells skull and the stoner guy who looks like Art Garfunkel toast with a latte. Yeah, John's got to pick and choose his spots. I mean, I really starting to think this is all a work. Like him and Carl and the shit payer. Like, there's no way John's this stupid. He's doing a show with Little Mirror. And
see, Kevin's starting to come around on my theory. There's no way John's this stupid. Like, Kevin's just going, well, I've met a lot of adults and a lot of people with disabilities and learning disabilities, but John is too stupid. This can't be real.
Okay. John should have never met alcohol or drugs, but he did.
Okay.
John should have never met the internet or super chats. Oof. That's what this is about.
So
He's
you think
here to collect, and he doesn't care how he does it.
Right. Well, that's true.
Dignity is out the window.
Correct.
And this is the guy. Instead of fast forwarding, why don't we rewind to not too long ago when he was leaving because it was too toxic?
Yes.
So now he wants to team up with Brennan.
Yeah, right. That's a great point. John was. So he left because it was too toxic. Then he came back, and then he was going to change formats because he talked to the guy from Collective Soul. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the guy from Collective Soul inspired him. He's just like, oh my gosh, I should be focused on love and understanding, and this is all terrible. And then 24 hours later, he's right back at it with a Why Do They podcast episode and calling me out. And yeah, getting on MLC. I mean, this is the most toxic environment you could be in, I would think.
Yeah, I mean.
Or possibly it's just some good-natured ribbon. It's also a possibility.
Hope so.
And the other guy, the doctor, and it's like, John, you remember you used to be on the Howard Stern show? You're all constantly reminding us, and now you're doing a show with these fucking nobodies. Like, I guess they've paid him $50 or something.
Well, John went on with Jake Hudson this week.
Yeah, the episode he got drunk?
Who's he going on next?
Last night, Little Mirror, he was drunk.
No. When was the show? That was the show that Shuley did 7 episodes about when he got drunk with DG and Joey C. So again, John's like, no, I got to live my life. Yeah, you got fired from your job, and now you're making content for Carl and Shuley. So it's definitely gonna be a work, or else John's the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived. Unless it's a work, he's the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived.
Oh, by the way, it was John that turned on me. That was who it was. Remember when he was on here and he was accusing me of leaking his video?
Oh yeah, but then also he texted you hurtful stuff too, right?
Okay.
He might be the stupidest person, but we won't know until the IQ test results come in.
Yes, so him and Blind Mike.
Yeah, got to get on that.
The Geary IQ test. So this was up on the subreddit, and somebody wrote underneath that, yep, it's all a phony pro wrestling shtick and always has been. Bob Levy is the one who has said the most mean-spirited and vicious shit about Stuttering Drunk's transgender child by far. It's not even close. And how does John react to it? Mostly by challenging Levy to some stupid fucking boxing matches no one cares about, desperately rehashed from their glory days on the Stern Show 20 years ago. And while Levy says and does the worst of the worst, who does John direct most seething hatred and rage and threats of physical violence, and not in a boxing ring towards? Why, club fucking footed asswipe and king of the dorks, Carl, of course. along with the dues paya / shitwaya Shuli. It's all bullshit. Stuttering John might as well start out every one of his rants on this topic with, "Let me tell you something, Mean Gene." So people are really starting to think that this is all work that's being coordinated behind the scenes. Like Shuli's texting John. They have Monday morning meetings. They're like, "All right, John, this week I want you to get drunk on Wednesday night. Thursday go out with Jake Hudson. Friday, it's like, that's not what this is. I do think that John is leaning into this in a way that he's trying to get over on us. He's trying to troll us back. And I got another example of that I'm going to play in a second.
I love the idea of the meetings.
Could you imagine?
Sipping coffee.
Could you fucking imagine?
That's a good idea.
Bob Levy's like, "John, I'm got a lot of things to say about your kids. You got anything?" "Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. Let me, all right. So,
John, go off camera, then come in and say, Joey, did you ever kill someone? Can you do that?"
You think they're coordinating all of this? If Shuli was pulling this off, he'd already be bragging about it. He would not keep that bottled up for very long.
Yeah.
He can't go through a weekend without doing a victory lap.
Before John could brag about it.
Oh, John tweeted out, somebody posted this. John tweeted out, "If you watched the shit show last night, now you know why I charge people to do these shows. Holy shit, I was being interviewed by 4 wasted losers." He must have already gotten the money. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Shots fired. Wow.
I hope he didn't get the money yet, but he thought he did.
It's very possible.
I would like to retract that.
All right. You're going to love this video. Okay. This was put together by Pollution Late 7425 on Reddit. And this is a Mensa member. Forget Mensa. Who cares about Mensa? John's in Mensa, even though he's said he's not. He is. The 160 IQ, as I think was where everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck? You can't be a 160 IQ." And again, this might be him doing the thing where it's just like, well, yeah, I mean, obviously this was a whole bit I was doing. Sure. Pretending I had a 160 IQ. Obviously I don't. I hope that's where this is all going to. Otherwise, this man needs a lot of fucking help. But this is just more proof of how stupid John is.
First thing, Carl calls my kids losers. Strike one. Second thing.
You got swing and a miss on there?
On Carl's Patreon, he literally says, and I have it, "Oh, and we goof on John's kids, which is a lot more fun than you would think."
I literally explained that to him. I literally explained why I wrote that in the description of that episode was to get him going like this, knowing that would piss him off, and he's still using it.
He thinks he's won if you have to explain yourself.
Yeah, well, maybe. But I'm explaining that he's an idiot. I mean, so, okay.
Strike two.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Swing and a miss.
3.
Okay.
He then goes on to read an article about my daughter and says, because of what he thinks are her teeth, says, "Oh, people say she looks like Baba Booey, but I think that's an insult to Baba Booey."
Which was funny.
Strike 4. And that's when Vinny was like, "Well, now you got."
Wait, do you get a base for that, or are you out?
I don't know how strike 4 works in the new Major League Baseball rules. They changed a lot of rules this year.
Jesus.
What a fucking moron. And listen, we've been highlighting that John is drunk and stupid and gross, but let's not forget how pathetic he is.
Oh, right.
I think we talked about this, but I wanted to play this clip. This is where he's talking to his buddy Doug Goodstein, and they're talking about Ronnie the limo driver's wedding that's taking place in Las Vegas, where Ronnie lives. John did not get the invite,
right?
But many people did. And it's funny because John says he's not allowed to invite John. Howard Stern won't let him. He forbids it. Meanwhile, a bunch of these guys who don't work there anymore are all going to this wedding. So this right here is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen an adult man do. If they were doing it in private, it'd be embarrassing, but he's doing it on the internet on his show.
Anyway, I think it's time for me to go. I think.
All right, so you still, is Ganji going to the wedding?
It is what?
Is Ganji going?
He didn't know as of yesterday, but he also missed the RSVP by like 2 months, so I'm not sure.
When is if you don't mind, or you can tell me off the air, but when is the wedding? Because maybe I'll come out and just hang out with you guys.
Like early October.
So maybe I'll come out just to hang out with you guys on
Look at how uncomfortable Doug is.
If you have an extra day, then we'll just hang out
Well, I have to figure out my hotel scenario because I waited and it's like extraordinarily expensive now where the wedding is.
I'm sorry I don't have a drop for something that depressing.
He's not catching the hint right here.
Oh.
Because he says it's early October, which is weeks away.
Yeah.
He's like, so what's your schedule like? Where you stay? He's like, John, everything's up in the air at this point. There's no way. He's got that figured out at this point.
Yes. He knows the date. He knows where. He knows the hotel.
This is hilarious.
Where the wedding is.
To help you get a hotel?
I don't know. We'll talk off air, maybe. I don't think so. I think I should be okay.
Yeah, John, he's fine. He's blowing you off. But John's like, I got all those connections.
Yeah, you need a plumber at your hotel?
He thinks he can hook everyone up. All he wants to do is ask for a favor and then give another person the favor that he's asking for. He's not actually doing.
All right, but if you need someone, just let me know. I mean, I have some connections in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So he doesn't actually have anything or do anything. He's a dung beetle. He just pushes shit around.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
How pathetic is that he's asking if he can hang out with all the people going to Ronnie's wedding on a different day when they're all there just to meet up with them. It's like, John, you weren't invited to the party. I'm sorry, man. You can ride your bike by as many times as you want. No one's going to be like, hey, get in here. Hey, there's that kid we didn't invite. Get in here.
Who are these podcasts?